team, and welcome to the January Supervisor Safety Meeting. Before we get into the content of what the crew was put together this month, I want to thank everyone for a job well done last year. We had less recordables and we had less lost time incidents, which was much better than we had in 2022. So thanks again for everybody doing a great job. As you recall, last year we placed an emphasis on slips, trips, and falls for the month of January, February, and March. That proved very fruitful for us in that we reduced the amount of slips, trips, and falls that we have, which actually cut down on our recordable rate as well. So again, this month starting off with the inclement weather that we've had today, with snow on the ground this past week and the frigid temperatures, we're continuing to stress slips, trips, and falls. So this month, the team from North Star Phase 1 has put together a video on slips, trips, and falls, 3 points of contact getting on and off of equipment, and avoiding hitting overhead lines and things of that nature. So with that said, please continue to stress slips, trips, and falls in your daily SPAs to your crews. Be sure that operators who are operating equipment, that equipment is cleaned off properly if it has snow on it, such as we've had this week, so that they reduce their chances of slip, tripping, and falling when they get on and off of the equipment. As well as with the frigid temperatures that we've had, we ask them to park it on dunnage to keep it from freezing to the ground. In addition to that, our overhead utilities, we still see an increase in striking overhead utilities as we do our underground utilities. Please be ever mindful that you need to have your dig permit. It needs to be valid. You need to walk the site with the crew prior to doing any excavation. And for the overhead utilities, be sure that they have signs in place. And if you don't have a sign in place, be sure that you have a spotter there to let you know how close you're getting to that utility. With that said, let's start this year off on a great foot, continue through the year, and let's see if we can be more successful this year safety-wise than we were last year. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian Hackley, Superintendent of North Star Phase 1. Today we're going to go over 3 points of contact, how to enter and exit a piece of equipment. As you can see, this is a great time of year. We just had 5 inches of snow. And you see what we got with this piece of equipment. You know, we got it parked up on asphalt, out of the mud, this and that. You see that we got clean tracks. So just to get to this equipment, you see where we actually scraped up the road, cleaned the road off, but we still got ice up around this piece of equipment. So to get up in this equipment, you might want to keep a firm foot on some dry ground. Take one step, hold on to the handrail, maybe just kind of clean yourself where you can stand. This snow, you can just take your gloves. Just push all your snow back out. That way you can get the best traction you can get. The next, you notice how I keep going back to the handbar while I'm walking around on this. So then you got this nice and clean. Go ahead and open your door. Now, we're ready to go ahead and get up in a piece of equipment. So you notice, I got this grab bar right here. I got this grab bar right here. Step. Hold yourself up. So now I got a firm footing. Now I'm ready to enter the equipment. Now, to get out of this piece of equipment, we just repeat everything over. You'll stand. I can use this handbar on the window to get myself positioned around. Take this handbar and this one foot down, the next foot down. to step down, but then what we got, you still might have icy, muddy ground. So you want to take 1 foot while you're still holding, get a good firm grip with your foot, step, and there you go. You just reach. Whoop. That's how you get out in and out of a 336 in bad weather. All right, so here we are. Here's a good situation right here. So we got a D6 dozer. So as you can see, this dozer's been working. We're trying to clean up some air so we can go to work for the next day. Been working snow, this and that, and now as you can see, look at these tracks. So the foreman came down, talked with the operator, going over some different things they want to do. So now that we got our plan of what we're going to do, now the operator's got to enter back up on the piece of equipment. Now as you can see, he's been working tractor caked in with snow, mud, and with the heat coming off the engine, you got ice. So now, this is going to get a little bit even trickier where 3 points of contact would be really important. So pretty much, as you see, we got the step. So as you're approaching, you got your handbar, you got your step. So now, with 1 foot planted, 1 foot on the step, one hand on this bar, extend that to the other one, which you don't want to sit way back and overextend, so when you reach, you'll slip back. Shoulders width apart, one here, one there. Now you just pull yourself up. Now with these tracks, you gotta watch your footing on these. I would always say you might want to put your foot, take your heel, hooking this track right here. I wouldn't recommend going here because as you can see, look at that ice right there. So I'd hook my heel in this and then just pull yourself up where you got good footing. Now this whole track is covered in ice. Here's where your handrails come important. So just keep a firm grip and just take little baby steps. Move up, you move up, then you got the handbar on the door, step, pull yourself up, grab the handbar in the cab, and enter. Position yourself, and now you're good to go. Now, get out, just basically repeat steps. You got your handbar, push yourself up, grab this bar, and just ease your way out. Hand on this bar, step. By holding these handbars, you just ease your way back down the track. Return safely to the ground. And that's how you enter and exit off a machine that's covered in ice. Alright, so now we're going to talk about slip, trips, and falls. Which today is a great day for slip, trips, and falls after fresh 4 to 5 inches of snow. So a lot of our accidents comes up kind of going to the conic spots. So, as you can see, I got snow covered all up around the conic box. And before anybody say, well, you need to clear a path. Well, my thing is, how you going to get to the shovels? They're in the conic box. So, as you can see, as you're walking up through this snow trying to get to the conic box so you can clear a path, first thing you need to really look at is the snow is telling you where all your holes and bumps are. So you kind of look at your uneven ground. So you kind of first, you take notice of that, and then you kind of figure out where you're going to walk at. So as you're walking, I wouldn't recommend dragging your feet. I would actually kind of pick it up and kind of try to feel the ground. As you can see here, I got a hump there. So would I even try to walk there? No. As you see here, I'm looking at ice. I would probably try to avoid that, but I would come right between these two humps because this looks like it's a little flatter, and just kind of walk, picking your feet up, and just notice the contour of the snow. Right there. I can feel a hump there, but just as you're picking your feet up. And then right here, so that much tells me something been left right here, but I can go around there and just easily, I'm here at the Conex box. Now I'm ready to get my shovels. I can dig me a nice little path, and that will eliminate some trips and falls in your storage yard. All right?
Who would have that? Just inside, have the demo for it?
All right, now I want to talk about overhead power lines. Overhead power lines are one of these unseen dangers that we got. Most of the time they're overhead, just like we say, overhead power lines. Overhead. Sometimes they're forgotten about until we actually hit them. So pretty much what we got here, you know, we try to identify the power lines with signage, this and that, letting everybody know we got overhead power lines coming across our work area. As you can see, we got flagging up there to help, you know, delineate the line. So as you're coming through with equipment, this and that, you can see that where that line is actually is. Even though these overhead lines, we go through all this measures to try to identify these lines for operators, anybody else coming through the work area, we still, every now and then, you get complacent with some of the signs because you see them day in, day out. And then, unfortunately, we do have, you know, we did have some incidents happen with this one particular line. I'll let Benny Rose tell you what happened.
I'm Benny Rose. I run the excavator. We had a little accident here back in December over these power line situations here. I was tracking up the road there. We had vehicles parked on the inside of the roadway over there on the other side. We had grade stakes or grade nails on the other side for the curb. It was a little tight coming through there. I'm concentrating on my cars. I didn't want to strike the car with the excavator. And I had four-way chains on the boom. I had it raised, concentrating on the cars, concentrating on the grades, the nails we had in. And I caught the power lines. I never once thought about those power lines. So, we came up with a plan. We got some traffic, we got the speed bumps in the roadway. So, track a piece of equipment through there, you know you got that speed bump, it's for a reason. And that gives you more options to think about those power lines. So, and then we got a parking area for these cars to be parked. They won't be parking in their traveling area. So we're trying to avoid